Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to our prayer vigil for planetary providence, progress, and peace with the 7 holy Kumaras who are here to charge the earth with Aquarian love light. You are in the right place at the right time, right? So give yourselves a hand. And I think it's someone's birthday today in our audience in the third row. Is that right? It's James Harris's birthday. So we have to start by singing, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear James. Happy birthday to you. And many more till you're so you've come from far and wide, and I knew that when Kathleen and Robert arrived we were ready to begin. So been in traffic for a long time, right? So if you endured the traffic and you are here, so praise God. Well, Carla, who's now known as Lady Clarity, for whom this Temple of Clarity is named, loved to sing, as Dennis knows. And so in honor of her, we're going to sing some bhajans, which will invoke that pink flame of divine love through our voices and our hearts. So we typically like to sing first to Ganesh or Ganesha, who clears the way. And this is pretty standard for bhajans or kirtan in the East. So I've picked song number 404 to Ganesha, and Boyd will show the words on the screen. If you have your songbook, you can hook, but if you don't, you should be able to see the words on the screen, and we'll play it now. Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gajavadana Gananatha Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Bhuvanadara Pranava Swarupa Paleya Pranavaswarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananata Gajavadana Gananata Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananata Gajavadana Gananata Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananata Gajavadana Gananata Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananata Gajavadana Gananata Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Gauri Tanaya Dayamaya Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Bhuvanadara Pranavaswarupa Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Paleya Paleya Partipurisha Gajavadana Gananata Well, Disney didn't quite get it right by naming the elephant Dumbo. It's really, Ganesh is very smart. So we're going to upgrade the language and call the flying elephant Smarto. And when Ganesh comes and clears the way, other amazing things start to happen. Miracles start to happen. And so the 7 holy Kumaras came with Ganesh flying on his big ears. So they're here in our midst, and we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. So next, we're going to sing Hey Shiva Shankara, one of our favorites, 412. Hey Shiva Shankara. If you feel like getting up and dancing, you know, we're not inhibited in our movement. We're uninhibited. Well, what's a better word than uninhibited? Free. We're liberated, women and men. We believe in women's lib and men's lib too. So here we go.
Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
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 Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati
Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara 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 Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Hey Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Girijapati Bhavani Shankara.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu,
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
Hey Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara Shiva Shankara Shambhu.
So what does Shiva say on All Hallows Eve? Shambhu. So 411, let's go to Krishna and keep it light. So when someone says to you, keep it light, what does that mean? Invoke the light, right? Keep it light. So Krishna always keeps it light and happy and joyous and full of levity. So thank you, Krishna, for being with us tonight. 411. Radha Krishna Karna Lola Radhe Govinda.
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 Radhe Govinda Murali Govinda.
Radhe Govinda
So do they have any car manufacturing plants in India? Does anybody know? They do, huh? Okay. Well, they should have cars, Vinda and Pala. So then when you get in it, you can say, go Vinda, go Pala. They had horses named, long ago, but. So I'd like to show the audience for those at home because we have wonderful gopis here who are really into this singing. There we go. Here are the devotees in Vista, California. Vista. Beautiful name, Vista. And many angels of the sacred fire. And more will be here tomorrow. So, how about song 402? We have to invoke the Divine Mothers, because where we invoke Ganesh and Shiva, well, we did invoke Radha with Krishna. But let's invoke Lakshmi, Durga, and Saraswati, 402, the Shaktis of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, right? Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and their Shaktis. So the Shaktis are very important. They anchor the light of the great Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva in the earth through the feminine aspect of the divine. So where you have only Father, you don't have completeness. So long ago, the Dark Ones hatched a plot to only refer to God in the West as God the Father. And of course, those in the East have known for centuries and millennia that God is both male and female. So to balance out calling to Ganesh and Shiva, we invoke these beautiful, beautiful divine deities who are just representations or emanations of the Divine Mother. God is still one. There's only one eternal God, as we know. Yet God has many emanations or incarnations and frequencies to exhibit and express beingness in so many magnanimous ways throughout the cosmos. The cosmos is so beautiful. And these Divine Mothers engender creativity and felicity and unity and charity and clarity and all these T's. I mean, my gosh. So maybe we should have a whole line of T's. Sarasvati, and then we can just celebrate the Divine Mothers as we drink tea, whether in Darjeeling or elsewhere. So here we go, 402.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Sai Jagan Mata.
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 Sai Jagan Mata Mampai 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 Jagan Mata.
Pai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati. Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati. Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, Sai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati. Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati. Sai Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, Sai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata. Mampai Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata,
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai Jagan Mata.
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 Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, Sai 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 Jagan Mata.
Sai Jagan Mata, Mampai 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 Jagan Mata.
Jai Durga Lakshmi Saraswati,
Sai Jagan Mata.
So there's a bhajan for every purpose. Just as there is an herb for every illness. And when you're traveling from Mount Shasta to San Diego in a car, and you're stuck in traffic, it's a good time to call to Ganesh, right? And he has to be very discreet, though, because he can't just clear everything for you only. Someday we'll have Velux's back. Yet, since we're stuck in freeways, I don't know why they're called freeways. Yeah, in Montana they're free. With the developments that are happening now, we should be able to teleport within a few generations, and you can do it now in consciousness, and you can travel in your light body anytime you choose. So there's really no hindrances to spiritual travel for the meditators who have worked on traveling in their light body for quite some time, and you bilocators. Yet, the practicality of living in a physical body sometimes means that we're, we can be stuck. Like Mona and I were for 2 hours in Montana. It's supposed to be a freeway. But ice creates another opportunity. So, what does traffic teach us? Lots. Patience is a virtue. Harmony is a great virtue. And that there is no lost time when you're in God's presence. And Eckhart Tolle teaches beautifully that if you're waiting for something, you're not in the now. If you're waiting, you're not in the now. So we can use what seems to be stuck time for great spiritual work. You can create universes in consciousness while you're sitting there on the 405 or the 5 or the 101 or whatever. And it's all a matter of consciousness, right? And so use time wisely, because time is mother, even as space is Buddha. And time as mother is an opportunity to master the movement of consciousness through what we call time. And space is an opportunity to master that which affords us the opportunity to incarnate ourselves and our being within a specificity of an environment and within these dimensional planes of being. We call them planes. Like Kathleen could teach us about plane geometry. What is plane geometry? Well, we won't go into that tonight. Yet, there are many planes of awareness and frames of reference within those planes of being that afford us entree into insights, different insights. And even as we have the 5 elements, the 4 major elements, and then ether, earth, air, fire, water, ether, so we have planes of being or dimensions of consciousness where we can move and shift and go where the Spirit desires us to go, to influence life on earth through our consciousness wed to Spirit, wed to the divine. So really there's no limitation to anything. You can be imprisoned and yet be free in your awakened consciousness to perform alchemy anywhere across the planet and to love people, to love the divine, and to virtuously access beautiful vibrations from within yourself to glorify God where you are. So really, in the eternal now, there is only opportunity for oneness, presence, perfection, beauty, and all the virtues of God. And when we live, move, and have our being in this unity field of beingness, it is just sublime. Today I was privileged to do 3 different soul-raising sessions in the upper room with the Holy Spirit, right? The upper room. And the first one was amazing. A beautiful lady who's here tonight, France, who I met for the first time. A beautiful, beautiful soul. You'll get to know her if you see her and talk to her. And at the end of the session, Mother Mary came, and I think I can say this because it's not too private. Mother Mary came and did a little alchemy, and then the light shone in through the window, through a prism, and highlighted exactly what Mother Mary was talking about. Right, Franz? It was a miracle. It was just a tiny little miracle, but to her and to me, it was a moment of eternity captured through color, the emerald ray, the green ray, right on her finger. And the timing of it was so perfect, it was so perfect that God was glorified in that moment, that sacred moment of eternality. And now she has an even greater mission than she may have thought of, to bring her healing gifts to many more people. And then another soul-raising session with another beautiful, beautiful soul that was just as beautiful, yet different, And so the colors were, as I'm with this person, the rainbow colors are just dancing on the wall behind him. It was great. So at one point I said, well, turn around and look. And because I was seeing, both mystically in heaven and then in this realm kind of simultaneously. And it was just amazing to see what God does. And then the third one was also amazing. So if you haven't had a soul-raising session, I think I experience each one as really miraculous. I really do. Because the Holy Spirit is miraculous. And I'm just an instrument. I'm just a lowly little dude down here trying to capture a little bit of that essence of spirit that God and God's infinitude would glorify these souls in these soul-raising sessions to raise them up to feel more of who they truly are as God men and women, as blessed beings, as sacred, divine spirit sparks of the one eternal God. Because that's who we all are. We're spirit sparks, as Khalil Gibran said, and as other mystic poets like Rumi have said. We're just little spirit sparks, Yet we're great spirit sparks. We can enliven and infire our universe with joy and sanctity and blessedness. And that's what we're here for. Life is great, right? Life is beautiful. So I have an announcement from Lanello. And then we'll see what Lady Charity has to say. Lady Clarity. Clarity and Charity. Well, they're pretty close. Just one letter, the L for love and clarity, and the H for heart-centeredness and charity. And they're just two sides of the same coin. So in 2020, we're going back to Hawaii. And we're gonna go in the spring or autumn or winter. Doesn't matter. Just not the summer. Just not the summer, please. Summers are great in Montana. And Lanello and the Masters of Levity are coming to Maui. Lanello and the Masters of Levity. The Angel of Joy, who's known as Levity. The Angel of Joy is known as Levity. Jovial, Fun Way, Lord Ling, the Goddess of Joy, Booty Ma, who I met in this life, a wonderful African-American gal who was just total love. Laugh a Lot, who's Uncle Kenneth, and a couple more surprise masters. The goal of this class is to invoke so much joy and levity and light that we actually change the vibration of the planet. That we change the vibration of the planet. And Lanella says one caveat is that we have to somehow be able to interact with dolphins, because dolphins are embodied joy beings. They bring joy. When I took a class with Dr. What's his name? What's that? Bartlett. Dr. Richard Bartlett. I've never laughed so much in one weekend. Never. It's just amazing. And dolphins, spiritual dolphins come. He sees them in the etheric, and they come, and every time they come, they're just laughing. And so we all start laughing, and it's hard to stop. So I don't know if they have that many dolphins in Hawaii. I know they have whale watching, but do they have dolphin? Yes. Okay, well, we have to do something with dolphins. So wherever it is, we have to, see them. So that's the caveat. So the reason Lanella is sharing this tonight is that we can plan. So save your money. We'll figure out where we're going. I love Maui. It's my favorite. However, we'll talk and figure out where to go. The Garden Islands, go where the dolphins are. And it's not the Miami Dolphins, it's the Hawaii Dolphins. Go to Miami another time. Well, Miami's great too, because you have I am right in the name, Miami. Okay, so, any questions on that? It'll be fun. So much light that will change the vibration of the planet. So much light. And will help the fire ring, will help prevent cataclysms, and we can transmute the ongoing situation with Fukushima still happening, unfortunately. It's really a travesty when you look at that. So as we were singing bhajans, I got a little teaching that I'll share. There's a couple types of forgetfulness that are acceptable as we age, right? And we're not accepting dementia, but we're going to different dimensions, but without dementia. Okay, so what two types of forgetfulness are acceptable? Anybody?
Forgetting pain?
Exactly, that's one of them. Forgetting, when you're in bliss doing bhajans, do you feel any pain in your body? No. No pain. This thing about no pain, no gain, forget it. No pain, you do gain. You gain because you're not in pain. And Mary? Negative memories. Exactly. Karmic issues with other people. It's a good type of forgetfulness to forget what you've done to others and what others have done to you. And God has this divine forgetfulness when you're forgiven permanently through the violet light, through Ho'oponopono and the miracle of the violet light. So those two types of forgetfulness are okay. Now, there may be others. And can anybody think of others? But those are exactly the two that I received in the meditation. Anyone else? The forgetfulness that we have between lifetimes where we don't remember our past lives is a grace, especially when you have traumatic endings of life or experiences where so I would say that would be a third. It's a temporary forgetfulness. Eventually, often in your last life or your last few lives, you do remember more and more of your last incarnations so that you can wrap up cycles, fulfill what you came to this planet to do. And the reason you remember these is so that you can, make amends and also make greater progress. And you don't lord it over anybody else's, I was this great person in the past life. In fact, typically we weren't all these great people. We were just common, spiritually oriented people who loved God and did things with great love, like Mother Teresa says, little things with great love, and in the process became more saintly to the point where now, walking the path of initiation, we are transcending cycles and preparing for the ultimate reunion of our soul with the divine and the ascension. And so it's been a long haul, right? It's been a long process, and it's a procession. The word process and procession are basically, the same. And so we've been processioning for eons back to the center of beingness in God's eternal oneness presence of perfect love, perfect joy, perfect everything. And in this bliss field of beingness, we forget all the negatives. We really forget all the negatives. And that's the final great forgetfulness. Anything less than divine is just transmuted. Transmuted, forgotten forever. And the Bible says, wash, somewhere in the New Testament, wash all your sins clean or something. And how does that grace happen? Because we are loving and we are forgiving. We get the message to love and forgive. Forgive 70 times 7 and more. And we love our enemies. And then pretty soon there are no enemies. Because when you love everyone, even your so-called previous enemies, they're no longer enemies. You can't sustain love and call someone an enemy anymore, right? You can't keep claiming them as an antagonist and be in the real forgetful, divinely forgetful mode of true forgiveness. You have to let go and let them be divine as they truly are. Allow them to be who they are. So we know all these teachings, just little reminders, so that as we do start to go into dimensions of higher beingness, we don't lapse into the dementia of the wrong type of forgetfulness. We're in the divine forgetfulness. And really, for all intents and purposes, maybe dementia for our elder brothers and sisters can almost be a good thing, because you forget what isn't necessary to remember at all. And I know my teacher went through dementia in the last 10 years of her life, and it was hard for those around her, but for her, it probably was fairly blissful. She didn't have a lot of responsibility. Everybody took care of her. So anyway, I don't think we have to fear it. If it starts to happen, don't fear it. Just, move into God. Keep moving into God's presence. And you have a good diet, you do your spiritual practices, you exercise, you drink plenty of water and good liquids. You do everything to prevent it. Yet if it starts to happen and you start to have little lapses in memory or forgetfulnesses, don't worry. Just allow God to do what God is going to do, even as you're consciously doing your best to maintain full presence, full awareness, full God consciousness. Yet some people in this audience, maybe myself included, will at some point in time maybe have to deal with this issue. We shouldn't be judgmental toward anyone if it starts, to happen to another in our community, because it is what it is. And part of it is just the toxins we took in as children often. I mean, I was talking to people about how, where I grew up near Chicago, they used to have these machines that would go out and spray mosquitoes with DDT. And they were massive, and they just shoot out like literally just bucket loads of DDT. And they'd turn and they'd spray the whole neighborhood. And we were kids running around in the neighborhood. So we got toxed out by this stuff. They didn't know any better at the time. Somebody knew, but they weren't, we were ignorant. So, and it smelled terrible. So we have these heavy metals inside of us, and we have to do our best to follow Anthony Williams' advice and, have our cilantro and have our wild Maine blueberries and do our special shakes and our celery juice and everything, so we can gradually detox and get them out of our system. And don't take all of your, all of the heavy metal out of your teeth all at once, he says. That's what I did in Mexico. Had all of my cavities taken out at the same time. And I survived. I'm here. But, maybe that explains a lot since then. But so we learn. We just keep learning how to be more aware. And there's other messengers of light across the planet. Anthony William is a messenger of God, of compassion, right? You read his book, Medical Medium. Compassion is the being that appeared to him when he was 4 years old and has continued to harangue him for his entire incarnation. He can't get away. It's his mission. He's just, I can't get away either. So when the last breath is expressed, I'll be in another state of non-freedom somewhere else to serve again. I don't think we'll ever stop serving. It's just we leap from one place to another. In one of these beautiful sessions today, you've heard the term never a backward step. So we're upgrading that to always a forward step, leap. Always a forward leap. Okay? Instead of never a backward step, that's non-conscious language. So always a forward leap. Let's say it. Always a forward leap. Always a forward leap. Always a forward leap. Okay, so would you like to have a 5-minute little intermission for use the facilities and get some water, stretch a little bit? Let's make it 9 minutes. So 8:20 we'll be back, and then we'll have Lady Clarity's message. In fact, you know what? Let's make it a full 16 minutes. 4 times 4. Okay, everyone. We're going to start in a minute. So we're going to sing song 122, A Gift of Love, with the video in preparation for the heart stream. Song 122, A Gift of Love. Lady Clarity welcomes each of you to this temple of clarity where divine love reigns supreme as the preeminent virtue that is incarnated here through everything that manifests, both during these events and during 2 to 3 weekly meditations and rosary sessions in the evenings that have been going on now for quite some time. She welcomes you because you are worthy to receive God's love. All of us are worthy to receive God's love. And then to use that love to glorify God in return, to magnify the Lord through our hearts, our chakras, our auras, our lives. Every retreat of the Universal or Great White Brotherhood is a sacred space where love is amplified, multiplied, magnified, accelerated through the collective love of the devotees, both in heaven and on earth. So there are many ascended beings, angels of the sacred fire, who come when devotees come here and meditate and pray and discuss things and collaborate and have meals together. And they amplify our causal body energies through the grace of God, through a mystical type of divine accelerant, which is the ruby ray, which is accelerated love. And when the Kumaras come, because they are masters of the ruby ray of selflessness, service, surrender, and sacrifice, they come to impact the entire planet and all evolutions on this planet. Sana Kumara saved planet Earth eons ago and came with 144,000 to rekindle the flame in the hearts of mankind and hold that flame. He was the original keeper of the flame for planet Earth after Earth had gone dark. And so we, as keepers of the flame and now as keepers of the lightning, have a mission to save sentient beings, raise them, tutor them, teach them, heal them, succor them, brave the elements within and around the earth with them as we're helping to enlighten first ourselves and others. And then, when the rescue mission is done, we'll be free to either return to Venus if we came from there or other star systems, or move on to other areas of service throughout the galaxies. And maybe not what we have to call Star Wars anymore, but maybe Star Pieces. Wouldn't that be great? Instead of Star Wars, we have Star Peace. Peace among the stars. Although the movie Star Wars hit home with millions of people because we know that these intergalactic wars have actually happened, and many of us have been part of the resistance, the divine resistance, against or to put a wrench in the cogs of the matrix and the negative forces that assail souls to keep them bound to mortality and unreality. So as we awaken, we are a part of the answer to the conundrum and the dilemma of what mankind is experiencing outside of the circle of God's eternal being. Once we enter that circle through divine love, through clarity of consciousness, through charity of our hearts, then all things become possible, miracles can ensue, divine graces start to multiply in our lives, and all kinds of blessings, bestowals, and mercies, and miracle light starts just happening. And the synchronicities start to grow and grow and grow. And pretty soon, you expect them. They're the new norm. The synchronicities with angelic beings, divine beings, as a part of your life become so powerfully dynamic that you expect it, and it's the new norm. So how many of you feel that your normal new life, spiritually oriented, is just miraculous? It's a miracle, right? And you can't tell everybody about it because some of the deep spiritual things are maybe too much for them. Yet for your heart friends, like those in this room and those on the broadcast, you can share a lot because you're not going to be chastised or or thought to be weird or stupid or outlandishly a space cadet, you're a normal light bearer. So, back to clarity. Clarity teaches us how to have excellent communication. How? Through clarity of our own consciousness, which then extends to others by the purity of our insight, our communiques, our words, our thoughts. When our words and thoughts and feelings and actions are clear, and we have clarity of consciousness, then there is automatically excellent communication because we are clear. When we are clear, then communication happens wonderfully. Yet if we're not clear, we will cloud the environment betwixt ourself and another or others where communication is not as good as it could be, where we have misunderstandings, we have lapses in what we'd like to happen, which is perfect collaboration and cooperation. That's what the desire is, the goal. Perfect collaboration and cooperation. Where that begins to break down, we can't look outside of ourselves. We have to look within and say, okay, I require getting clear. And clarity will help you to get clear. Because clarity clears the air with clair-de-lys, right? Clair-de-lys. Clear the air with clair-de-lys. And you can say clear the air with clarity too, if you like. And sometimes you have to clear the air after you've had a dispute or an argument or whatever, in order to then start afresh and try to make amends and then enter into the sacred and safe space where true divine collaboration and cooperation can then happen. Whether it's between a couple or co-workers or light bearers in general and teams, whatever, it's so important because where there is clarity, there is charity. Where there is clarity, there is harmony. Where there is clarity, there is unity. Okay? We have to have clarity to have a unity field of beingness that will magnetize more people to our community. They won't come if we are not clear in our own consciousness. They will come when we have so much love, so much understanding, so much beautiful collaboration and cooperation that they will feel the energy field of our oneness. So we don't require, as I've said many times, some magical, mystical marketing scheme, right? Our marketing scheme is love, is brother-sisterhood. It's appreciation of one another. It's gratitude and thankfulness for each other. Recently in Livingston, just this past week, we did another circle of appreciation. It's always magical. And we come out of those little rituals feeling refreshed and invigorated because we have been the beneficiary ourselves when we appreciate another of the love that's generated through our love of another person as a devotee, but simply for who they are. We are regenerated as much as them feeling the appreciation. Because when we express love and gratitude and thankfulness, we are the great beneficiary of the grace that comes through that expression of love and joy. So remember to appreciate others even when things are not going well, because it can heal the schism, the issue, the problem. It can help to heal it more quickly. If you stop, you've counted to 10, you've pulled back, and the argumentative state, or I am right state, from that egoic interplay of the dynamics of darkness, really, and you've allowed heaven to intercede through appreciation and gratitude and say, I'm stopping this now. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Let's move on. Let's be brothers and sisters again. Let's love one another with the greater love that Jesus said we should love each other with, because we only have so much time on earth, and it's more important to fulfill our mission through love and joy than to be argumentative. The only difference between agree and argue is one letter. We have to change the U in argue to the E in agree, and just switch a couple letters, and then it's magical, right? So what is that U? It's the untoward blame, shame matrix, where we're not working toward something beautiful and divine and merciful and kind. We are untoward, and in a you way, you did this to me, you did that, you. Well, every time you do that, there's 3 fingers pointing back, as we know. So let's get rid of the you did this, you did that. I blame you for the fact that I can't find my battery charger or my phone charger. Where did you put it? Oh, I put it the last place I put it. So it's like, don't blame anybody else for your issues. You create your universe. You create everything. Charity and clarity go hand in hand. When you're charitable, it immediately sets up a flow field of clarity. Why? Because love clears the air. Love clears everything. Where there is love, there's the beginning of clarity. And then that moves toward unity and harmony, beauty, and perfection. You can invoke a sword of clarity if you choose. Yet it's the sacred word that you use when you are clear and you desire to use that sword to clear what isn't clear yet. But it's not a physical sword, and it's not a warrior attitude. It's the sacred word of love. And all the words of love. There are millions of words that are from the divine world that circumambulate divine love. And when you find those words in any given situation to heal, to bless, to raise, to free, to enlighten, to inspire, to illuminate, and to protect in the right way, then you are free. You are freed through the righteous use of the divine words of Spirit. Those words free you from the bonds of the lesser self and the nihilistic energies of your ego. Kind words heal. Remember this. Let's say it together. Kind words heal. Why do kind words heal? Anybody? They come from your heart. And the heart is the seat of true healing. You may think that healing comes through the third eye or solar plexus or wherever else, but really, true healing comes through the heart. You have to have love for healing to manifest. Kind words heal. So what kind of kind words heal? Every kind of kind word heals. Because it's kind, it's kind of good, you know. It's akin to the divine. So kind really means something that's kin to the divine. Okay? It's a kindred energy of divineness and beauty. Kind words show appreciation. Kind words are reverent. Kind words are magnanimous. Kind words are solicitous of oneness and joy. Kind words perfect relationships. Think of that. My kind words perfect my relationships with others. My kind words perfect them, because at the center of perfection is love, and all of love's sub-virtues, which kindness is one of them. Compassion, charity, affection, amity, all these are sub-virtues of love. So clarity invites us to this temple of clarity, which is a temple of love, to experience Aquarian love, which will always reign supreme here so long as there is true brother-sisterhood and affection towards one another as devotees of love and light and levity, as initiates of the sacred fire, as those who dare to be like Christ and like Buddha and like the Divine Mothers, and follow them all the way to the initiatic joys of oneness with God. We've been on this path of oneness to God, and when you meet an Amma, or you meet a mother, or you meet a Lanello, or you meet an Uncle Kenneth, or some of these ones that have been right in our midst that we've known that have ascended. Carla Fisher, Cheryl Bench. Let's name some others. Who? Sweet Martha. Martha Manns in Canada. Mary Bruton. Warren Walring. These, Judith Younger. Lady Pleiades. Her name is Lady Pleiades, right? And the play on words on her name, Lady Pleiades, she was a ballerina. And so plie is this step, and so it was spelled differently than the Pleiades, the stars, the seven sisters in the heavens. It was spelled with the letters reversed like plie. And that was the name that she gave me as her chosen ascended name, Lady Pleiades. And she was one of the first to accept me as a messenger in our movement. And we had many beautiful conversations that no one ever heard about. And she had to keep her acceptance of this dispensation kind of private, because she was in the other organization and she would have been just harangued by people. So it was kind of a private thing. Who else? Nancy Frainer. What a beautiful soul. Still healing, you know. Hilarian's twin flame. We thought it was somebody else, but it turned out it was Nancy. And who else? Kathleen's mom. Lois Bjork. In Indiana, there was Treva Bell. Some of you knew Treva. There was the white-haired lady from Kentucky, good friend of David Kyle's. Who's that? Monica Urrutia. We celebrate all these beautiful ascended beings. Linda Knopper. Robert was married to Linda Knopper before he was married to Kathleen. And we'll remember more and more. Uncle Kenneth, he accepted us, you know. I got Mark Prophet's ring through Uncle Kenneth because of Bruce Catlin. So you're going to ascend. What will be your legacy of clarity? Ask yourself this. What would you like clarified in your life now, during this weekend? What would you like clarified in your life now, during this weekend? And clarity says that when your vision is one with God's, there is the magic of this agreement that manifests, that is beautiful. And that is when clarity happens. When your vision is one with God's vision, then there is perfect clarity. So it takes work to true your vision and raise your vision to be like God's vision. And once you have the same type of vision that God has, things become crystal clear. And then you can help clarify anything for yourself and others because you're in the non-judgmental mode. You're in the unity field. You're not judging from unrighteousness. You're judging from discernment rather than human judgment. Divine discernment, divine discrimination, not the negative discrimination about others, but you prejudge them. That's prejudice. Divine discernment and divine discrimination is understanding from on high that sees from 360 degrees and more than just 360. It sees from multi-dimensions, way beyond what most humans can see. It understands instantaneously through intuition, through grokking or through gnosis, through the heart. Through the heart. So to have crystal clarity consciousness, you have to be heart-centered, and that is the greatest spiritual practice for most of us in this life, is to maintain heart-centeredness so that we can be clear in anything that we do. Heart-centeredness provides the vehicle for clarity of consciousness. Write that one down. Heart-centeredness creates the vehicle for clarity of consciousness. That's directly from clarity. And what is heart-centeredness? It's also Christ consciousness, or Christic consciousness. It's also Krishna consciousness. Same thing, just a different twist. And when we sing to Krishna, I tell you, my whole body is on fire with this love field, and I'm like, it's the same as if I'm praying a rosary, and I'm in love with God through the Divine Mother and Mother Mary. It's the same energy, same feeling. And you may feel it in your own way through your path, what you've been in this and past lives, through where you feel that most heightened, aware state of heart-centeredness in God. You've all arrived there through maybe different pathways. And however you get there is fine, whether it's through meditation or silence or being in nature or swimming with dolphins or, whatever it is. Eating, the nectar of the gods, a persimmon in the kitchen, and enjoying that sacred moment of communing with that elemental spirit that's embodied in that fruit. That's just amazing. However you get there, keep doing it, and then accentuate the heart-centered state to get clearer and clearer and clearer until what? You don't have any more questions. You are the answer. You are the answer to why you are here. So the why becomes the divine you. It's kind of smoothed out now. And it's you and God. You start with God. You came down here and evolved. You got involved. Now you're evolving back to the source. So it's you and God. And then, God actually incarnated through you, an essence of God incarnated through you. So God went like this, and you're down here going like this, and then what do? You create an O, and that's the circle of infinity. The two, well, it's really this, but the circle's still infinite. So you'll solve every issue through love. You'll resolve everything through love, because love clarifies everything in this clear field of beingness, where there is only the presence, there is only joy, there's only the fresh air and the fresh new breath of the moment. When you look at Amma and pass by her picture on the wall, you'll see one who has embodied perfect love, which casts out fear. So where she is and hugs people, there's no fear of anything. She is casting out fear through her hugs, because every hug is perfect love. And perfect love casts out fear. So if you desire to help cast out fear in anyone or any situation, invoke perfect love and hug someone like she does. And through the divine embrace, and even if you don't have someone physically to hug, hug an angel that you invoke to be your friend, or hug your higher self in a moment of intuitive feeling of oneness with your presence. And don't let fear grip you or get a hold of you at all, or others that you love, because it will stifle love. It will stifle progression. It will stifle acceleration of consciousness. Fear is a Piscean old matrix. We should have, by now, completely eliminated fear from our vocabulary and our lives. But every once in a while, it may crop up a little bit. We may fear the future, and we don't even realize we're fearing the future. How do we do this? Well, I'm not going to have, I don't have enough money right now. Or, well, I'm not really doing my divine plan, or I don't have a job. And there's a little fear there. Fear of failure, fear of whatever. How can you get beyond not having the right relationship or job or vocation or the money or the situation that you desire or deserve? Love. Enter perfect love. Enter perfect love. And just if it takes a while to get to that state where you have what you require, so be it. Love doesn't always manifest through the snap of the finger. It happens by grace. And when it's ready, when love is ready to find you, it will find you. And then there will be no more fear. Not a shred, not an iota. Because that's when you live in the very vital living presence of God. So thank you, Lady Clarity. Thank you, Angels of Clarity, 7 Holy Kumaras, those who will be coming tomorrow and throughout this weekend. And thank you, devotees of the One Eternal Spirit. So it's 9 o'clock, our closing time. However, we just have to sing one song in closing, and that is Magda's Mantra 9.009. I live, move, and have my being in a living crystal diamond of light. And then you're excused. And do we have any announcements about tomorrow? You could just look at the schedule. Just look at your schedule. We'll see you at 8:50 tomorrow morning. God bless. Good night.
May the angels go with you wherever you go. May they guide every footstep with heavenly glow. May the seraphim, cherubim from realms above send their legions to seal you in faith, hope, and love. May